With me, I have Dr. Mthimkhulu. Dr. Mthimkhulu, he got his matric at Emandeni. And then from there, Dr. Mthimkhulu, he went to University of UKZN and he enrolled for a BSc in soil science. And then from there, he went straight to master's program, again in soil science. And then he also completed his PhD at UKZN. Dr. Mthimkhulu is in each area in his studies. He focused mostly on soil physics. Dr. Mthimkhulu has worked in quite a number of research places and quite many colleges of agriculture as well. To just mention a few, he worked at Sedara College of Agriculture. He also worked in Mpumalanga. I think it's a College of Agriculture there as well. And he also worked in Salt Lake University as a lecturer. He worked at Sastre. Currently, he is a lecturer in one of the universities. Again, his main niche area is still soil science. Dr. Mthimkhulu, can you greet the viewers of The Way to Success, please?
Greetings to everyone who's viewing this channel, and greetings to you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mthimkhulu. Good people, I'm always passionate about indicating the progress that we have made as a country so far. Indeed, we have quite many giants who are doing well out there academically. And maybe it is our time to also tell people about our story and our journeys of upbringing. The reason why I'm bringing Dr. Mthimkhulu to come on this platform is precisely because of his book that he wrote. It was so fascinating when I was perusing his book. It's even titled saying, "Warriors have scars," meaning the book on its own, it's indicating the journey that has been traveled. By the way, Dr. Mthimkhulu, what made you to select even the title of saying "Warriors have scars"?
Warriors of Scars. I think when I looked at the title, I was thinking about the title of the book. I needed something that was going to summarize the life that I'd lived. So, and when the idea came, Warriors of Scars, I thought, that's it. It just summarizes the life that I've lived. And it's not just the life that I have lived, but I realized that a lot of people around me and actually around the country, they had lived a life that suggests to us that warriors have scars.
Have scars, yeah, they have story to tell.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Just by looking at the title, you can relate.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
I also got a chance of checking and reading your fascinating book, and also to draw back. I'm sorry that it will provoke some of emotions if you have not yet healed to that upbringing. How did it feel to have a father who is an alcoholic, yet when you were young, you were looking up to this father?
It was a very interesting experience. I'm not sure about the emotion part, but anyway, it was a very interesting experience because, when you grow up having a father, you're actually expecting that father to be the father figure to you. And being a father means a lot of things. And one of them, it means to be a role model to someone that you have as your child, especially your son. They see you as their role model. But now, if it happens that this role model, this person who's supposed to be a role model, is actually living the life that doesn't look like what you want to see. It's not the kind of life that you want to live, but you still have to look up to him.
Yeah.
Because he's the only one at home or who is called your father, and your father, you have to listen to him all the time, and whatever that he says, you must do it. And when he says you shouldn't do certain things, you shouldn't do those things. But you'd find that he's doing what he said you mustn't do.
Yeah.
That becomes very confusing.
Yeah.
Because now you don't know whether I should do what he says I must do, because he's saying I must do something that he is doing.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yes, I think I get you well. In my language, there is something that says inishwane tamsa. In a situation that's supposed to be a bad luck, but also in that process, you are learning something that you say when you are old, you do not want to do it to your own family. We see you as one of the prominent people, more especially in the scarce skill of the soul science. Yet another person who grew up in the same environment, in the same years like you, would have a justification and say that I grew up in a family that is not complete, a family that is experiencing violence every evening. When my father comes back home, he will beat everyone, including my mom. For this reason, I really also want to mimic him. Others, they would even say it is a family curse. How did you break that? How did you become so different from him?
I think what I believe is that the way you live your life is your choice.
Okay.
I would say that again. The way you live your life is a choice. So as you growing up, as you grow up, you choose things that you want to see and the way you want to live your life. And some of the things you'd find that they are in your blood, and you have to fight those things. Like, for example, if you were born in a home and actually grew up in a home where maybe your father or your role model, which is your father, is an alcoholic and he is fighting everyone at home, that becomes the way of life for you.
Yeah.
Even if you don't want to do it, you would find yourself doing it because you don't know anything better.
Yeah.
So that means it must be your decision to say, I do not want this to happen in my life and in my family. And you decide what kind of a human being you want to be, what kind of a family you want to have, what kind of kids you want to have. And then you pick the route you need to take to get there.
Okay. Yeah.
And obviously, it's not going to be an easy thing. It's going to be very hard because now you have to learn new things, new ways of living life.
Unlike what you are exposed
to
at home.
So, because all you have learned at home is how not to be, right? And now you want to choose things, or you want to choose a life that will be, I would say, or that will help you become what you want to be. That's not easy because you have to look outside. Maybe now you have to pick role models outside the home.
The home, yeah.
And then that's not easy because even the people that you now look up to outside your home, you don't even know them. You don't know the kind of life that they live, because everyone, when they're outside, they show you what they want you to see.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So now, even when you're comparing your father with those people, you don't even know whether you're comparing apples with apples or you're comparing apples and bananas.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Because your father, you live with him every day. So which means you know a lot about him. But the other person, you only know the side they want to show you.
Most definitely.
Yeah. So it becomes very difficult and confusing. But I think what I would like people to know is that it's still your choice. Okay. You still have a responsibility to choose the life that you want. And that life is possible.
Wonderful. Dr. Mthimkhulu, you grew up and then left Mandela after your matric, went to UKZN. We now know that you chose an option of soul science. When I read your book, I was touched by the fact that to me, to get an ID was just a simplest thing.
Yeah.
But to you, it was really a struggle, which even made you not even to be able to qualify to NSFAS because you were not having a proper identification until you fight until you got it. If you don't mind, can you take us to that moment? What were you thinking when all of these things happened? Were you thinking that maybe it's still about your past, that is still following you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if things in your life have looked like there is like that bad luck that keeps
Yeah,
on following you,
yeah,
and in a way that you believe somehow that, Mina, I have this bad luck, right? Even though maybe you would not admit if someone asks you, but you'd find that at the back of your mind there's something that says things do not just happen for me.
yeah,
I
yeah.
have to
You have to
fight
fight
very
for that.
hard for
Yeah,
things,
yeah,
even simple things like an
an ID.
identity, like
Yeah.
getting an identity document.
Mm.
Because look, man, I tried 5 times. I applied for the ID 5 times
Mm.
before I got it. So I started when I was in high school. I applied twice, and then when I was at the university, I think I applied 3 times before I got it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So in a way that I think in my first first 2 months at the university, when I was trying to register, struggling to register because the registration starts in January, and then it ends maybe towards the end of February, or maybe sometimes mid March. Late registrations, things like that. So I was busy trying to register,
Okay.
to register
Because you do not have an ID.
because you don't have an ID. Then
Mm.
it's a struggle, and thank God I did have an ID number
Okay.
from the certificate, but I didn't have the ID.
The actual ID. Yeah.
So I was actually about to even lose my NSFAS because of that. But I just, some of the things you cannot explain how they happen. But with God's grace, I think I managed to register, but still, even my registration was conditional
Depending on this
because
document.
I was told that you need to get this identity document, and then even NSFAS renewal. I had for me to renew my NSFAS for the following year. They made it clear that I need to get this identity document, otherwise it will not be renewed. So when you are supposed to be focusing on your studies, but now there is this burden, and you know that if I do not get this identity document, I'm gonna be out of the university, regardless of how I'm going to do in terms of my studies, whether I'm going to do well or badly, but I'm still going to go out, be kicked out of the university if I do not get the identity document. So yeah, it was just a struggle,
Yeah. Now, thank you, Doc, for even highlighting that part to us. Indeed, just to have ID, it's one of the simplest things. I know now that in the country where the people are really concerned about ID, if you are black, you must always have your ID. So, if indeed you didn't have it, hey, it was going to be one of the challenges. Doc, take us in that moment when you completed your first junior degree, because I do believe that that was the case breaker, if there was a case, when you obtained it.
if you put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was a great experience for me because of what I had been through while pursuing that degree. If you think about, the way I started that degree, like in my first year, I had failed dismally, and if you're coming from a high school where you were known to be one of those students who were performing, were doing very well, and then you get into an institution now that is proving you otherwise. It's just telling you that you're not that great. You write your test, and the test tells you are not that great when you look at the marks. And maybe let me just give you a little bit of a background as to what happened.
Yes, please.
Because I had failed. Remember, in my first year, actually first semester, I had registered 4 modules. and I passed only two.
50%.
Got two subs. I didn't write those supplementary exams, and because of many reasons. And I think if I can tell you those reasons, they will not finish recording. So, yeah. And then second semester, I had registered 6 modules. I passed one out of 6. I got 3 subs and I got 2 straight fails, 32 and 33%. You know, and then I came back to write those 3 supplementary exams. I passed one out of 3. So now in total for the year, I had 4 out of 10.
And NSFAS, at least at that time, was
And
a bit
then
lenient.
it was a bit lenient. So they were like, okay, fine. You got 40 out of, so you got 40%. So,
yeah.
okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Right. So then they were willing to take me back, but the problem was still the identity document. And that we have already discussed. So when I completed that degree, actually, it felt like, you know what, anything is possible.
Amen. With God. Yes,
anything it's just possible, because I actually saw what God can do. You know,
I think your story, many people out there, more especially those who went into disadvantaged institutions, those people that are really coming from marginalized families, more especially marginalized economically, they will concur with you on this one. Because when you are in those environments, you are not only focusing on your academic expected duties, but also you have social issues that really challenges you. Even when you are attending, you still have this thing that is taking your mind away. The safety of your family again, maybe your siblings, are they eating, all of those things. So they were playing now that role. I can imagine how really it really felt in the family. But now, beyond your qualification junior degree, what really made you to pursue your studies even beyond?
I think it was opportunity.
Okay.
If you're coming from a disadvantaged background and you're beginning to see that there are opportunities out there, it's important to learn how to seize those opportunities.
Yes, yeah.
And for me, I think that was the main thing that kept me going, because I saw opportunities.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm not going to leave this opportunity. I have to seize them. So I then went into a master's.
Okay.
But even that master's, I was encouraged by my supervisors to pursue that. And when people are telling you that there's money, and all you need to do is to avail yourself and carry out these research projects, and you're getting a master's after that, and I'm like, wow, I know how it feels to be someone who is not even recognized, to be in a room with people that do not even recognize that you are there in the room. When you are now in an institution that says, we can see you, this is an opportunity, it's for you. You're like, what? Someone can see that I'm in the room. Someone can see that I'm around, I'm here. So, and someone is saying, I can see what you're capable of. I think you can carry out this. I was like, I can't leave that opportunity. Right.
Dr. Mthimkhulu, others would be saying family pressures at home have compelled me, even though I managed to get my junior degree, and I'm smart, by the way. But at home, they're still waiting for me. What was happening at home when you're still pursuing your further postgraduate qualification? Were they not giving you pressure and complaining to say, go and work now?
That was, I think, that message, it was, I don't want to lie and say it was like explicit. It wasn't explicit. And I thank God for that. Maybe the reason it wasn't explicit is because maybe my mother knew that anyway I wasn't gonna stop.
Okay.
You know, I think she knew that I wasn't gonna stop anyway. But she didn't put pressure on me to say I must go to work and things like that. I just told her that I'm going to carry on with my studies.
Okay, wonderful.
And actually, when I told her, I was already registered.
Okay, wonderful.
Right.
Wonderful.
And because I think I was blessed in a way that when I finished my honors degree, I already had a master's project.
Okay,
I knew exactly what I was going to be doing. I had even started sampling
okay,
before I completed.
okay.
So when there was no gap
In between.
in between, so it was like I finished, and then the following day I'm already in the master's project.
Wonderful.
So yeah, I don't lie and say there was that pressure, and sometimes that pressure you'd find that it's not coming from other people, or it's sometimes people will say it's my mother or it's my sisters or my father who's saying I should go to work. Sometimes it's a pressure that's coming from you as an individual. That I should go back home and do things. And but in my case, I knew I needed to do stuff at home, but I was like, I must get better first.
Wonderful. You forgive me that I'm now dragging you back to those years in tertiary, simply because our aim, we are traveling on the way to success. We do not want to be selfish, to be the only ones who are recognized as doctors and academic doctors, but we want also to reproduce our own kind. Now, there is that person who are still in the university, now in the university, actually in the university, but they feel like, hey, we are not coping. We rather drop out because of our background. Now they have an opportunity. They are inside, but now they have a pressure within the institution because young people are wearing nice brand, they are carrying nice gadgets, they have this and this and this. I'm not fitting in them. I assume that based on the background, uh, you were among those people that were marginalized like us. How were you coping in that environment?
Sometimes this pressure is self-inflicted.
Okay.
So if you are gonna feel the pressure of, you're gonna feel the pressure and want to quit because people around you are wearing nice clothes, that pressure is gonna continue even after you quit because it's everywhere.
Okay.
Even if you start working today and you earn millions of rands, you're still going to have that pressure because there's always going to be someone who's better than you.
Yeah, always a room on top.
There's always someone who's better than you. So quitting will not solve the problem.
Okay.
So I think the most important thing is focusing on what you are doing and remembering why you started doing the thing that you're doing. Because I think if you can quit because of that, I would suggest, actually, let me not say suggest, but I would think maybe the reason for you to start or to pursue that project was not strong enough. Okay. If it's strong enough and you know why you're doing that, you will not worry about what's happening around you.
Wonderful. Before I release you, Dr. Mthimkhulu, the last chapters of your book, in the beginning, you took us through your upbringing.
Yes.
And also even the transition towards you becoming better with your qualifications and so forth, life becoming better. But now in the last chapters of your book, we see you now talking about issues of curriculum development and all of these things. What is driving you towards that? And I'm glad you wrote your book when you are old enough. Now, being in the state that you are in, you were able to go back to your past, but at the same time, not only to end there, but also to incorporate now with the continuation of evolution of your life.
Yeah, so like you mean career development?
Yes.
Yeah. So I actually thought, as I'm developing myself, actually, there were so many things that I struggled with in terms of understanding what I'm trying to do. Who exactly this kind of a human being I am trying to be. In terms of my career, that, by the way, affects everything that's happening in my life. your career determines almost everything
most
in your life.
definitely.
It determines where your kids are going to be, where you're going to be, and what kind of food you're going to eat, what kind of a car you're going to be driving, everything. So I thought, I had struggled with a lot of things, not understanding what it takes to develop a career. And then when I looked around, I saw that there's so many people who also struggled with the same thing. And some people were already working, but they couldn't explain what they mean, even when you ask them about their career. What is a career? Like, what is a career? And then what does it take to develop a career? People would just talk about working hard, but everyone is working hard. I mean, almost everyone is working hard, but we don't all but not all of us get what we're looking for, even though we're all working hard in some meaning, even though we're working hard in different ways. So I thought, let me talk about that, and talk about how I developed my career, and then so that maybe other people can look at that and say, okay, maybe this can serve as the foundation, because it's not like I talked about everything. I was using my story, but there's a lot more that I didn't talk about there, like even things like, what is a career? What exactly do we mean when you talk about a career? I'm actually tempted to even share with you one of the things.
Proceed, please. We have time.
Because, for example, we talk about a career. I see it as like most people talk about, when you ask them about a career, they would think it's just occupation, right? I see a career as I would say, if you look at a career, it's more about, how do I put it? You have to think about the kind of a person you are going to be, rather than the things you're going to do. Right? So who exactly am I trying to be?
Meaning which, so the career that you are going to take, it must not change the person that you're supposed to be. It must be aligned with your own person.
It should help you to become. It should help you to become. So if maybe I were to borrow from someone, Bill Burnett defines a career as your participation in the great ongoing human adventure on earth. Your participation in the great ongoing human adventure on earth, which means there is this great ongoing human adventure that is happening on earth. But when you're deciding on your career, you're actually deciding on how you're going to participate in that.
Because you spend most of your time doing
that thing. So the question is, how am I going to participate in this thing that is already happening? This development that is already happening. It's going to continue with or without me.
Wonderful.
But the question is, how am I going to participate in it? Rather than saying, which career do I want? And then begin to choose from the list that you're given by the university. But now you're saying, how do I want to contribute? And then after realizing that or deciding on that, now you can pick
the right one that resonates well
with what you want to do, with how you want to contribute.
I get your point.
Yes,
I get your point.
So then that's what the thing that I was trying to achieve in writing that the last chapter. But it was focusing mainly on, I was trying to show us that we have all the tools on the inside of us that can guide us as to how we should choose. But not only, because when you talk about the internal tools, people think about the things that you love to do, but it could also be things that make you valuable. Not
which
just
which you already have.
Yes, things that you already have.
Yours, you just need to nurture them, to harness them.
Yes. So when you think about the things that can make you valuable, and then you nurture those things, obviously you're going to become valuable. And if you become valuable, the people love valuable things. And they love valuable people. Then you're going to attract the people that love valuable things and valuable people. Then they'll pay you for the value that you provide. So that's how you develop your career.
Wonderful. And I love that, because when you go to the doctor, not to the GP doctor, but to the specialist. The specialist will tell you that for consultation, it's maybe 2,000 rand. And when you look and when you meet with this specialist, it's only for 5 minutes, and then you leave out of the part of the office or whatever where you meet with the specialist, and then you complain outside to say, but how can it become so expensive? Only 5 minutes, and he's even giving me a prescription to go and buy medication. Now, it comes back to the time the person has been accumulating this information to solve the problems that you're having in advance, so that when you come, you will be just knowing exactly what you are suffering and then provide the solutions. But you mean to say, in order for you to be in that level of being that much special, to charge your time for that 5 minutes, it must be expensive, because as much as they think it is expensive, it is cheaper to consider the fact that you still already have a problem. And it's not my problem, it is your problem. But I went ahead of you, I find the solutions for you. Once you take this approach, you are likely to be okay. So you mean to say people, when they are choosing their careers, they must choose careers which they will make them to be satisfied about themselves, but at the same time contributing as much as you are getting paid, but you are helping someone again. There is someone who will appreciate you to say to the so and so has helped me in the process. Now they'll forget about man, because their pain will vanish anyway once they meet you. So you mean that in the space of this career path, you are talking about those things?
Yeah, something similar. Yeah, you can say that. I'd say I know a lot of us, when we're developing our careers, most of the thing that we want is money, of course. But I think if we put people first, to say, I want to be valuable, before we name the amount of money we want to earn. Say, I want to be valuable.
Valuable, yeah.
And you keep on increasing your value.
Your value.
Your money, the money that will come to you will keep on increasing with an increase in your value.
Yeah, right. That is very true.
So that's the thing that I like us to actually focus on when we're developing our careers.
When I was in the plane coming down to East London, I happened also to be in the same plane with you, and I saw the book. It was not the soul science or soul classification.
Yeah, for sure.
But it was the book that is to do with the success.
Yeah.
What you picked up that day in that book? Because I saw you were reading a lot and you were enjoying it.
No, it's the title of the book. It's Success is a Choice.
I saw Success as I was passing by.
Success is a choice, and I read everything that talks about success, because I want to be more and more successful. And one of the things I can share with you about success is maybe the definition, because
Wonderful.
I like defining things.
Proceed, because this is the way to success anyway.
The question is, when you talk about success, what exactly do you mean? Most people, at least people that I've interacted with, when they talk about success, they think of things. To say, when I have a beautiful car, a nice house, a beautiful family, then I'll think I'm successful. But the definition of success I love the most, it's the one that was coined by Nightingale. He says, success is a progressive realization of a worthy ideal.
God.
Progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Question, when do you become successful? Day one.
Okay.
If you are to register a qualification next year, when will you become successful? First day.
Okay, in your mindset.
First day, when you register,
yeah,
you get a student number, you are successful in that program already. Why? Because that's the first step to the graduation day.
Okay.
Without that day, there's no graduation.
I think I get your point. Yes.
Right. So when then do we begin to celebrate success? First day.
Okay.
When I get registered, actually, when I get accepted, that's when I start.
It's one step.
It's one step in.
Yeah.
So which means I'm already successful. I register, I'm successful. I passed the first test, or I attend the first lecture.
Yeah.
I'm successful.
Yeah, I transform my mind from rural areas now to adapting the lecture I want.
That's success. That is success. So it's progressive.
Yes, yes, it
So
is indeed.
as I'm progressing, I'm realizing
Man, I love
what
it.
is
I love
and
it.
realizing your
Yeah.
worthy ideal. So which means for me to be successful, I need to know what is my worthy ideal, so that I will know if I'm moving in the right direction.
Hey, wonderful.
Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's how I see success. And because of that, then if you look at success in that way, you're gonna enjoy
Yeah.
every step of the way.
Yeah.
Because you know where it is taking you. Even if you don't achieve that thing at the end,
But
you will
experience.
still be successful.
Yeah, because you have started the thing.
You know.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Yes.
I think you are really bringing a lot of insight to us when it comes to this concept of success, because I even named my journey that it is the way to success. Every day we're traveling on this. We enjoy each and every moment. In order for us to get it to 1,000 kilometers, we start with 1 meter. I think now we are telling us that. But before I let you go, Dr. Mthimkhulu, do you have any closing remarks that you want to share to someone who's still out there, who face an abusive father, who is struggling at the university, who have no direction at all, who want to quit, and also who struggles at a workplace simply because this person have done a blunder of taking what was available, which is not resonating or aligning with his main purpose in this life? So what is the message that you can tell these individuals?
But two things that come to mind as you are describing that. One is, it's never too late.
Okay.
It's never too late for things to change in your life.
Amen to that.
But you need to know that for things to change, you have to change.
Okay.
Things will not just change, but you have to change. You don't sit and wait for things to change. You change things for things to change.
Okay, yeah, you become an agent of change.
You have to be
in
your own life first before
changing others.
Before you start changing others. So it's and another thing is, for someone who is saying they chose the wrong place, in terms of their career, I would say to them, each of us is many. We must remember that. I actually learned that from Bill Burnett, one of my favorite writers. He says each of us is many, so which means there is always another version of you that you don't know.
Okay, within you. You have run correct.
Yeah. So if the version of you that you're currently experiencing doesn't give you the life that you want, or the experience of life that you want, then you can change and
wonderful,
and allow the other
version of you to
and
emerge.
That other version is not plan B.
Okay.
It is not plan C. It is not plan D. It's another plan A.
Yes.
So it's like, because it's another authentic version of you. Because human beings are, I would say, they have different affordances.
Okay.
You can be different things. The question, that's why you can be a father at home, and then you go to class, you are a lecturer.
And then coming out it maybe to audience and be motivational speaker.
And then when you are on the road, you are a driver.
And I get your point.
So you have different affordances.
Yeah.
So now it's up to you which one you want to see emerging.
Yeah.
Right. And if you, the moment you understand that, then it becomes easy for you to switch. You know that right now I'm no longer a lecturer, or I don't want to be a lecturer. I want to be something else. The question is, do you believe that you have it in you to be that thing?
To be that thing.
Right. So now that's the issue of attitude. Your attitude towards yourself.
Okay.
So, and the attitude that can change as well. Because I think it was one day he says, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Okay.
So which means if your attitude towards yourself is not what you want it to be, you can change your attitude. And if you change your attitude towards yourself, which means you're also going to change.
change,
Because if you
yeah.
change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Wonderful, wonderful. I think also once you change completely, discovering yourself and imagine this new identity that you thought it was not there, you are likely also your light to illuminate even to the world. And then now we end up now fulfilling the Bible scripture which says that through the light in you we shall see the light. So now you end up now helping the entire community by your existence. Thank you for such a words of wisdom. I received even myself.
Pleasure.
It has been one of those sessions that were not just an academical sessions. This one is a session whereby it talks about the details of life.